Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adin Shah bin Muhammad Shah from ED 248, and today I will present about my video presentation for EDU for phase 0, which is classroom management issue. Okay, so first thing first, what is classroom management? Classroom management is skills and technique that teachers can use in order to create a high-performing learning environment. This skills and technique is used in order to ensure that courses operate well, student disruptive conduct is kept to a minimum, and instructional materials and activities stimulate learning. The ultimate aim is for both the students and the teachers to get the most out of the classroom experience. In a classroom, both the teachers and the student have their own significant roles. For the teachers, it is their role to create a safe learning environments that are respectful and inclusive for the learning benefit of their student. And for the student roles is to be open to the idea of learning and be interested, motivated and eager to debate and share their opinions on learning. Now we will take a look at the issue in the classroom management. And the issue is communication challenges in a classroom. There are three major problems that can be seen in communication challenges. Firstly is the lack of student participation. Secondly is the lack of feedback. And third is the non-verbal communication. Now we take a look at the lack of student participation. First is lack of interest in the subject. For the students may disengage if the material that they are learning is not interesting or relevant enough to them. And the second is the avoidance of mistakes. The students are afraid to make mistakes, as mistakes are usually equates to punishment. So this may cause them to not even try to answer questions. Next is for the lack of feedback. Number one is the no clear direction in learning. We can see this as the student does not know what they are learning for, as they do not see the usage of the knowledge they learn and the importance of them. And secondly is the lack of opportunities. Uh, the lack of opportunities happens because the student see learning as a one-way approach uh, and didn't try to be proactive in their learning. For the third one, we are going to take a look at non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is very important in a classroom in order to ensure that the classroom environment is suitable for the student to learn. The problem that happen usually is the lack of eye contact, as without eye contact, the student will feel like their presence is non-existent and they cannot relate to the teachers that is teaching. Secondly is the limited use of gesture. Uh, we can see that an over-reliance on verbal communication without supporting gestures may hinder comprehension during teaching session. And lastly, the inconsistency in verbal and non-verbal cues. Uh, by inconsistency, we can see that usually equates to mixed signals, and mixed signals can cause the pupils to get confused if the teacher's words and the non-verbal cues are incongruent or are not the same. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at the solutions for the problems that we have seen. And firstly, the solution for the lack of student participation is to try to approach learning differently with a range of instructional preference. By this, we can see that teachers are able to plan lessons in order to maximize engagement and promote autonomy and ownership of learning, where the students can choose excellence and mastery as their educational outcomes. And secondly, we can encourage the student to take risks in a supported environment. This is because we need to teach the students that by making mistake is also a part of learning, and during their learning phase is where they need to make mistake in order for them to learn more. Next, we are going to take a look at the solution for the lack of feedback, which is by providing a guideline or a rubric for the student to be referred. This guideline or rubrics is for the courses or the subject that they take. This is because the student can self-evaluate their own level of understanding, which will also help in developing individualized learning goals and learning intentions in order to assist the students in seeing where their knowledge is heading and far improve their comprehension. And secondly is by developing measures in order to increase the range and qualities of learning opportunities. By this, we can say that by utilizing multiple means of assessment can help in aiding engagement, motivation, and also self-efficacy. When the students practice ownership of learning, they are responsible for monitoring their own progress, seeking help when required, preserving and persisting during challenging tasks, managing their time effectively, and setting achievable goals. Lastly, we get into the solution for the non-verbal communication. And for the first one is making sufficient eye contact during teaching. By making meaningful eye contact with the students, it can demonstrate attention and interest to the students that they are teaching. However, the teachers need to be aware as the significance of eye contact might differ, and any prolonged eye contact may resulting in a different intention. Okay, secondly is the teachers need to use suitable gestures in order to augment verbal communication. We can say that teachers' effectiveness is generally characterized by showing enthusiasm, varied facial expression, gesturing for emphasis, moving towards student, spending more time in front of a class than behind a desk or at the whiteboard, maintaining eye contact, displaying head nods, and speaking with a clear voice and varied intonation. The correlating between verbal and non-verbal messages and exhibiting a sense of humor is also important during the teaching session. And lastly, we can make sure the body language, facial expression, and verbal communication are in sync with each other. This can be done by fostering positive characteristics, mannerisms, actions, and habits, as well as overcoming the negative one that may depress an atmosphere for learning. In conclusion, we can say that classroom management is a crucial aspect of effective teaching, and the teachers need to remember that consistency and clear communications are the key components of successful classroom management. And it is also essential to build positive relationship with your student, as well as a well connected and engaged class is less likely to experience persistent behavior issue. And that is all from me for this video presentation. Thank you very much.